Hello and welcome everybody to Know What You're In For with disgraced prison warden Anthony B. What? Why? Who? When? Calm down. Let me finish my introduction. My name is Anthony B. Watts, okay? I'm a disgraced prison warden and you guys are always pressuring me with all these questions and it's like I'm just like a guy, you know? I'm just a guy, and if you don't know who I am, okay, I'm the host of Know What You're In For with disgraced prison warden Anthony B. Watts. I'm the titular host. I was recently thrown to prison and currently I'm sorry, I'm through it. I'm okay. I'm okay. Currently I am working out of a mail room. Yes. How do we know it's a mail room? Because of the balls. Because of the balls. That's a joke from Three Musketeers. That's a joke from Three Musketeers. I cite my sources. Got to get those S's on the mic. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up from the sound crew. Yeah, that's right. This week we have the sound crew back in. I got a bunch of visitors in the prison. I'm spending some time in the mail room. And I got a bunch of visitors in here. I have a bunch of my sound engineers from the good old days. Hey, get on mic. Don't just throw shit at me. Ow, fuck. Hey, don't throw shit. Yeah, I have a bunch of them in here. And, I've also got Ronnie in the corner. Hey, Ronnie, he's on his phone. Ronnie. Right, who are you texting? Ronnie. No, he's not going to respond. Okay, that's great. That's good, though. Yeah, he's my illegitimate son. Illegitimate. He is legit. He is like my son, but I say he's illegitimate because he says ill a lot. That has nothing to do with... I didn't like portmanteau those two things together. It was more just like, once he started saying it, I just said, you know what? This isn't working for me. And we got a divorce. That's right. Me and Ronnie got a divorce. Isn't that right, Ronnie? I just need to wait for his mother to sign the paperwork. Can we get her to hurry that along? No, you don't know where she is either. Me either. I only knew where she was one night. Ronnie. And I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life. Anyway, yeah, Ronnie's here, and he's a delight. He's lovely. Today we're in the mailroom because I'm going to be answering, or receiving, or reading. I don't know how it works. I don't know what the correct term is, but I'm going to be reading fan mail. Okay? This has been a long time coming. I get a lot of letters in, a lot of people, I assume, praising me, and a lot of, my old audio engineers said, hey, we want to come in the room to be here when you read it. I assume to bask in the glory of what has been said about me. And you know what? I'm feeling humble about their audio work. They did a lot for me in the good old days. Ronnie was also there. And, we were all present and we all took part of this. And I assume that's why you're all here, just to understand, hey, look what we built together. Which I'm now continuing to build alone. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, I guess we should probably jump in. Okay. Let me grab one of these out here. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Shouldn't have shaken that. I feel like we spiked some audio. I'm getting some shaking heads. I'm sorry. I haven't changed, eh? Haven't changed. Still the same old me. Okay. Here's a letter. Dear Anthony B. Watts, my kids are 8 and 11, and of all the podcasts that we are bombarded with every night, this particular podcast is, of course, the one that caught their attention for all the wrong reasons. Oh, that's so cute. That's great. I'm glad there's I'm glad we're getting a wide audience. I don't know there'd be a lot of kids listening to the show, but it's good to know there's a lot of listeners out there. Continuing, because it's inappropriate for little boys to be subjected to that, it has really nothing to do with prison. Their market is clearly towards idiots. Because it's inappropriate for little boys to be subjected to that, it really has nothing to do with prison. Their market is clearly towards idiots. Okay, I think what's happened here is maybe you've missed a bunch of keys while typing, or maybe writing this. It seems like what you're trying to express is coming out in a way that isn't exactly entirely positive about your podcasting experience. You say the market is clearly towards idiot. Okay. I'm trying my best to temper the storm that's building inside of me, but I'm going to go on the assumption that you meant to say this just for a second so I can retaliate and fight you immediately. Get on the attack. You say the mark is clearly towards idiots, and yet your 8 and 11-year-old sons are listeners, so in my mind you're saying that they're a bunch of dimbos, right? You're saying they're a bunch of dimbos because you say, my kids are 8 and 11, they enjoy listening to the show, the market is clearly towards idiots. Okay, great. Great, I guess your kids are idiots then, huh? I guess you did that. Okay, I'll keep reading, but remember that. Remember that your kids, you're the one that's saying this. This isn't even me. I haven't said anything. You've written this. Okay. Totally inappropriate viewing of breasts being shaken and boys ogling them. Okay. I know what episode this is referencing. I know what episode this is talking about. Yes, we had an episode with, there's a lovely, rather dashing young woman who goes by Misdemeanors. She is a woman of the night, a lady for hire. And yes, I did hire her to shake her objects in front of me during one episode, but that was supposed to be an audio-only experience. So I cannot be held accountable for the videos that leak outside of the main podcast feed. If you didn't find it on Big Tall Boys, it's not my responsibility. Honestly, you can talk to HR. I object as it is encouraging children to look at breasts, etc., and perceived idea that it is okay. It's not encouraging children. I mean, you're the one that's putting this in front of children. I have children listening. There would be hundreds, and I believe this podcast is totally unnecessary. Oh my god, that's amazing. You think there'd be hundreds? Wow. That's good to know. I don't think it's unnecessary, but yeah, no, it's good to know there's like fans out there. That's good. Sexualizing women, having a woman grabbing her breasts in front of children, inappropriate, not funny. If a male grabbed his genitals at children, would be never considered wrong on so many levels. I agree, and it's probably why you shouldn't be showing this to your children. I think this is entirely on you. If you're like, hey, this video just leaked of this prison warden getting it on with a woman of the night with an escort. I feel like you're in the wrong for showing that to your children. Seems like maybe the idiot gene came from the closest tree. Let's just phrase it that way, huh? Yeah, I think I know you. I think you know what I mean. I consider the podcast inappropriate as it appears to sexualize children. Well, hang on a second. I feel like you're doubling down on the fact that there's children involved, but there's no children involved. These are your children. These are your children watching this leaked video. This isn't sexualizing okay, well, I'm mad now. Please remove this podcast. It is not in accordance with your code of ethics regarding children. Okay. I should never have made that a code of ethics. That was a misstep. I met up with a bunch of other podcasters and we agreed we need to get something in place. We need a code. Conan said he needed a friend. I said I'll be there. I'm his friend. I didn't realize he was going to make me litigate. I didn't realize he was going to make me write a bunch of lawyer shit. We got it faxed through. The office ladies did everything. They printed everything off. Got it all tidy, presentable. And then, we just had we had another podcast help out. Who was it? Oh, my dad wrote a porno crew. Well, let's type this bad boy up. And I think maybe a few things. I'll be honest, maybe the code of ethics didn't come out as good as we thought. I think there was a bit of a game of telephones that was afoot. Let's skip beyond that because I don't want to talk about my code of ethics. It's encouraging sexist behavior and demeans both the woman and boys generally as stupid, testosterone-charged half-wits. Okay, these are your children. You are insulting your own children. This is you saying your children are half-wits. You understand that, yes? This is you. Know what you're in for is using gratuitous sexual stereotypes. So many S's. Are we all happy with the S's? I'm getting a lot of shaking heads. The buxom woman and the witless boys to attract attention the most basic way. Shame on Anthony B. Watts for this outdated, unwelcome grab at attention to sell chicken. Okay, I feel like maybe I'm not thinking of the right episode. Shame on Anthony B. Watts for his outdated, unwelcome grab at attention to sell chicken. Ah, yes. The leak video did of me having a big old bucket of KFC. I forgot about that. It was a big night out. Yeah, so I guess that is irrelevant. I would say that letter was pretty dumb. As dumb as your children. And by proxy, as dumb as you. And I think we should just go to the next one, huh? Yeah, let's grab another one. I'm looking for some positivity. Let's not just read the really long ones that are really mean. Let's just grab a... Yeah, hang on. There's one here. Hang on. Okay. Get my voice already. Dear Anthony B. Watts. So formal. Always so formal. This podcast would obviously attract young children. Okay, no it doesn't. What? Who wrote these? This podcast would obviously attract young children, and one of the toys very loudly and clearly says, "Holy fuck." Okay. What episode was this? I'm assuming if you're saying toys very loudly saying "Holy fuck," you're referencing the soundboard. Right? You're talking about the soundboard. There was an episode we did that had a soundboard in it. It went off. I think Ronnie was actually in the room in that one. Weren't you, Ron? Yeah, because we had a bit of a mishap in the old Foley chamber. We were trying to construct a new sound effect of a brick breaking, and we got a big oil drum. We filled it up with peppercorns, rolled it down the side of a little, like an abacus, while hitting it with a bunch of mallets. And it turns out you shouldn't do any of that, and it kind of collapsed and fell onto somebody's foot. They shouted, "Holy fuck," and unfortunately, that ended up in the final edit. We didn't want to include that, but it did end up in the... Actually, just for reference, can we get a drop of the sound effect? Because I think we still have it. Oh, fuck! Holy fuck! Yeah, there it is. So that's basically what it sounded like. And I look, I'll take the blame for this one, okay? I'll take the blame and I'll pass it on to everybody who did the wrong, okay? I'll tell them all that they did a shit job. I'll take the blame and I'll delegate the blame. Fantastic. So yeah, I agree. We've listened a number of times before 8 p.m. Okay, you can listen whenever. You can listen to the show whenever. You don't have to designate... I mean, if that's the time that you have, that's fine. It's not suitable for children. I never said it was. And the fact the podcast includes toys and a child is totally inappropriate. Ronnie, I think they're talking about you here. There was a child in this episode. That was Ronnie. He was in the room in that episode. He's 19, but yeah, I guess it was kind of inappropriate, wasn't it? The inclusion of these draws kids into the podcast and then hits them with a reference to a totally inappropriate swear word. It draws kids into the podcast. Okay. I know Ronnie. Okay. Ronnie does not have friends. There is no way that his inclusion on the podcast would draw in fuck all. There's no way that more people tuned in because Ronnie was featured on an episode. Okay, well, yeah. No, you can get up. Yeah, you can get up. Oh, you done with your phone now? You done with your phone, you big man? Okay, he's leaving. Okay, it is a prison, though, so you should probably... Okay. Great. I feel like this letter really got to him. Anyway, it's also on during family shows, such as paramedics and Taronga Zoo programs. Well, that's because you're playing it at a certain time. Why play it when something else is on? This is you. You've decided to play it at this time. It's a podcast. You can play whenever you want to play it. It doesn't need to be on it. Okay, my children listen to this as is connected to PG programs we watch. It's not connected. You've created what is called an association. You are playing the podcast at the same time as they're trying to watch shit. My children have asked if the toys are swearing. This is suggestive bad language. My assumption here is your children are merely confused. They don't know what's going on. They're trying to watch the zoo programs. They're like, what's going on in Taronga? Hey, what's going with these paramedics? What's happening? I can't hear them. Mum's playing too loud a podcast. It's so loud. It's so rude. It's so Raven. Fuck you. Fuck all of this. There's one more paragraph. One toy is heard saying, "Holy fuck, we know. This is highly offensive and inappropriate, especially as the podcast is set in a young girl's bedroom." That's a diss on Ronnie. That episode was in his room. Hilarious. That is so... I wish he was here for that. I wish he was here. Oh my god. He was so worried of his bedroom looking feminine. And I was like, no, it's 2021. It's all good. Nobody really gives a shit. And he was like, no, I don't want to be like perceived as that. And oh, Ronnie. Oh, I wish he was here. And it is also played during primetime TV. It's not. You've decided on that. That is your choice. Watched by our below school age children. Again, your choice. Such podcasts should not be permitted on the internet. Okay. Well, I'd say at the end of that one, there's a lot of terrible things on the internet, and you assuming that this is some of the worst content means that you have not delved into the depths of various sites that I hold dear and near to my heart, near and dear to my heart, and generally on rotation as my homepage. Okay, I think you need to reassess what you think the internet is. Let me look here. These have been not the most. Oh, Ronnie's back. Hey, Ron. Yeah, take a seat. Hey, bud. Okay. Yeah, these have not been the most positive things, but I assume they can only get better. We have 5 of these, so we've done 2 of them. Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Oh, clearly all the old vocal cords. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Okay, dear Anthony B. Watts. So formal. They always start out so formal. The podcast involves 2 men in towels. What? The podcast involves 2 men in towels spraying themselves with the body spray and then smelling each other's armpits or making suggestive facial expressions about how their towels are. Yes, again, I know which episode you're referring to. You're, of course, referring to the one with the towels and the armpits. Yeah, we're spraying each other with different things, body sprays, smelling each other's armpits, suggestive facial expressions. It actually seems really good because you're saying suggestive facial expressions, and I was unsure whether my advances were being received. Me and Jeremy, I had Jeremy on, the prison lawyer, was on for an episode, and I was like, I thought it was a one-way thing. I didn't know whether he was really like into it or not, but I mean, from your reading, I'm starting to think, hey, maybe it was. I remember I said, hey, my towel is so damp. You should check it out, man. And he went and he touched it and it was like, well, there's a spark here. And it's good to know that somebody else saw it because I don't know if he did. It's very much indicating a sexual attraction. Oh, thank you. Yes, exactly. Between the two, and would not be tolerated if it were 2 women or a man and a woman. And why would that be? It would indicating a sexual attraction. Oh, because the next line. Okay, the homosexual innuendo. It's one of these letters. Ding, ding, ding. Hit the little buzzer. The homosexual innuendo is offensive. I feel the podcast could promote solvent abuse. Solvent abuse. As when the male sprays the body spray, the other male is too quick to inhale it. Yeah, this was a mistake. He was spraying body spray. I was leaning in for a kiss. I thought I was reading the moment, and I accidentally, I huffed in a little bit of the solvents and got a little bit tipsy. I don't know if tipsy is the right term. What did we say? I was tripping, huh? I was tweaked out of my balls. I don't know if, for lack of a better term, I was tweaked out of my balls, and I wish there was a better term, but unfortunately, that's just what we've got. That's what I was, so that's accurate. The man in the podcast spray deodorant, and then the host says, "For bits and bits." To repeat that, the men in the podcast spray deodorant, and then the host says, "For pits and bits," making the suggestive moves that make it look like they aren't just going to sniff each other's bits, but also their bits. That's fair. There's so many S's. They're also their bits. Yes. Once he leaned away from the kiss and was spraying the solvents, I got, tweaked out of my balls, and I thought, hey, let's just go for it. I remember saying this for pits and bits, and really just, I guess, checking if his towel was damp. Checking if his towel was damp. I think, I mean, you heard the episode. It is disgusting to see a man sniffing and rubbing his nose in another man's armpit and to go to bite his nipple. What an episode this was. This was the infamous For Pits and Bits and Nips episode. Look, after I went for the towel, he was like, no, man, it's not cool. And I was like, oh, we're going to play it that way. And I kind of inserted myself into his nipple area and kind of clamped down on his areola. And and they've finished this by saying it is offensive. It was offensive. I'd like to apologize for this episode. I think the For Pits and Bits and Nips episode was one of the worst things I've had to listen back to in the editing bay. honestly, it's astounding that it made it through so many rounds of production. A lot of people don't know on this show, we do pre-production. Sorry, excuse me. We do pre-production, we do production, we do post-production, and we do post-production where we just kind of like hold each other and cuddle. And I think it was during this stage where we could have been saying, hey, like whispering to each other, hey, I think the nipple stuff was a bit much. Maybe this shouldn't be the big anniversary episode. But, it's fine. This was the big episode. And yeah, I'd like to apologize for that. Right now, if anybody's listening out there, I'd like to apologize. Can we get an apology drop? We've got the old sound crew here. Can we get an apology drop? Can we drop in like a little, I apologize sound effect? I don't know what an apology sound... I don't know why I suggested that. What would an apology sound effect be? Ronnie? No? He's on his phone again. Maybe like just... maybe like a party horn. Like one of those paper ones that spools out. There we go. We got it inserted in. That's the apology party horn. Apologies for everybody involved in an episode, especially Jeremy. May your lawyers be fierce. I mean, he is a lawyer, so I guess he knows what he's doing, as he continually said post episode. This is me starting the next one. Okay, dear Anthony B. Watts, always so formal. This podcast has racial bias. Jesus, this is going to be a big one. Demonstrating racial exclusivity and apparent racial preference by Anthony B. Watts. Now, I don't know what episode this was. I'm hoping the next few sentences can illuminate on exactly what was happening here, because this is a big claim. Additionally, the podcast shows an Indian man attempting to make a food delivery to an aircraft in flight. He is shown outside the plane's window in distress. Okay, yeah, I now know what episode this was. Clearly, this has only ever happened once. As a bit of a goof, I hired a delivery service to deliver some food to my party plane, and yeah, I didn't think they were actually going to deliver it, but a bit after that, I saw them out on the wing. They were tapping, and I did my best John Lithgow impression and started to freak the fuck out. Okay, I went full Twilight Zone, screaming, running around, ruining the party atmosphere, and pointing at the window saying there's an Indian man out on the wing. Well, I think I said, I can't remember exactly what I said. It was something to that, I said something. Maybe it had to do with the racial stuff. The Indian delivery man appears to be ignored, and the podcast attempts to make fun of his suggested racial and financial equality. Okay, well, some of this is coming back to me now. Now I'm remembering some of it. Well, we didn't ignore him. I guess we ignored him in the sense of, hey, we ignored the fact that he was delivering food. He was on the, on the wing of a plane. But, yeah, I think what this is referring to is it wasn't exactly like racial and financial stuff. I wasn't screaming that he was an Indian man. I was screaming that he was a goblin or a gremlin or something, because I was in the full John Lithgow mindset, right? I was thinking, look, there's something on the plane wing. It's going to tear it apart. We're all going to go down and die. So I'm shouting, gremlin, gremlin, goblin, goblin. A bunch of people run over. What's going on? They look out the window. They see an Indian man holding on for dear life. He's offhand holding a bag of Menulog. Okay? They turn to me without even helping the man. They turn to me and go, I'm sorry, do you mean the Indian man out there on the wing? And I say, yeah, I mean, what did I say? And they say, well, you said he was a gremlin or a goblin or something. And I go, no, I was confused. I was not knowing what was going on. I was doing John Lithgow. And they say, okay, there's a lot of he said, but then they say, okay, describe one other quality about him. And I went, okay, I guess he was, he's a delivery person. I guess he is a delivery person. They don't get paid a lot of money. It's not the best job. It's pretty difficult. And I, of course, responded, I mean, he's probably poor. And at this point, the party atmosphere deteriorated. It turns out a lot of people there were incredibly offended by my commentary on this Indian man's financial stability. I didn't know what I had said wrong, but I knew that I'd said it wrong because a lot of people were throwing a lot of things at me. And yeah, people did not re-invite me to the plane jacuzzi. So I guess that's probably what this is referring to, that singular. It might be a different episode, but I think it's referring to this episode. I think that the podcast is highly suggestive and extremely inappropriate for the internet. Once again, I want to be clear. The internet is disgusting. You are looking in the wrong places if this is the worst thing you have found on the internet. There is so much wrong shit, and it's so great, and you should seek it out. Anthony B. Watts has directed pornography. Okay, example, Exhibit A of terrible things on the internet is this right here. Yes, I have, indeed. It is worse than the podcast. Okay, so you're telling me of the things that are definitely worse. And starred and produced Diary of a Simp. I did star and produce in Diary of a Simp. It has been called the saddest incel story ever told. Nobody wants... I did star and produce in it, but that didn't mean it got to the post-production, so it's not exactly in theaters yet. But hopefully, when COVID settles down, we can get this bad boy running. Alright, this podcast is sexualized. Okay. Including the lyrics, we're going to do this doggy style. The podcast did include the lyrics. The lyrics, we're going to do this doggy style. I do remember I did sing that while trying to gain everybody's favor back after the Gremlin incident, and that kind of made things worse. That definitely made things worse. Can we get a drop of me singing the do it doggy style part, please? Oh, we're gonna do it doggy style. No. No, we're not really. Oh, okay. Okay, who threw that? Yeah, so people would obviously not be too pleased with that. That was a real low point for me. A lot of people, I'm starting to think I should reproduce Diary of a Simp and include that scene because it was heavy and one of the lowest points of my life. As he sits on a bed with two women draped around him, I believe this sexual innuendo and objectification is in breach of podcasting standards. Should never have made those standards. Fucking Conan. This podcast should not be on the internet. You just listed something way worse than this. This is not as bad. Okay, well... Okay, racist podcast with only black people and one white person, not included in the... not included in the festivities, exactly. I was thrown out onto the wing. They invited the Gremlin, they invited the Indian man back into the plane, and I was thrown out on the wing. I was removed from the festivities for what? Me being a piece of shit? Is that what they said? I think that's what they said, and they repeated. Okay, I think that's what they said and repeated. I think that's the video that went viral. It includes them saying that after I said the doggy style thing. So yeah, maybe it was for that reason. But I think that's a bit of bullshit. Honestly, completely, I was left out of the festivities, and that was rude. Who knew fan mail could get you so heated? Looked out looking through a window. I was very racist to whites. Who wrote this? This podcast is sleazy, depicting the warden lounging around the bed. Of course, this is before I was locked out, with several girls, almost as if they were hired girls of the night. Hired girls of the night. Yeah, they were. Misty Meaners was there. She's a hired woman of the night. To put it politely, not to mention being very sexist, get rid of it. 5 exclamation points. Too many exclamation points. This podcast has all black actors and is offensive. What message are we giving our kids? There's no kids. There's no kids on this party plane. Stop showing this to your children. Convicted on arms and drug possession. What? What message are we giving our kids convicted on arms and drug possession? This is one whole sentence. I don't think I'm misreading this. I think you are saying we're giving our kids convicted on arms. You're saying your kids are convicted on arms and drug possession. Okay. Whoever wrote this, I think you have bigger fish to fry than writing into a podcast and giving in fan mail. Okay? Look inwards and look outwards, but just in your immediate vicinity. Okay? Don't listen to audio waves. Turn off the paramedics and Taronga Zoo broadcast and focus on your children. If you are saying they're convicted on arms and drug possession, that is your priority numero uno one. Do you want me to count to 100 again? I will do it. This is on you. This is 100% on you. This is awful. His podcast employs disgusting language and degrades women. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. That one actually has a sign off. It says love Stacy. So are these fan mails? Why does it say love Stacy at the end? That makes no sense. Okay, we've got one more here. We got one more here. Okay, and I'm glad you're back in the room, Ronnie, because this one is about you. I've been briefed on this one beforehand. Some people told me this is the big Ronnie one, so this is the final one we're going to be going through. And yeah, buckle in, bad boy, because this is entirely on you for your episode you recorded. Yep, I know. This is why I brought you in. You're going to sit there and you're going to listen. Dear Anthony B. Watts, thank you. So formal, so nice. I assume the rest will be lovely. This podcast portrayed to children, no it's not, teenagers, etc. No, not etc. There's not more. That it is okay to just have sex with anyone without any feelings for them. And this is on you, Ronnie. This is on you. Just have sex with anyone without any feelings for them. I told you this is the one that's about you, okay? This is about when you had that chick on, okay? You said you were going to do your own episode, and what it ended up being was a sex tape. You recorded yourself with this woman. She didn't have feelings for you, but not to say she didn't consent, but to say that she was just like, whatever, let's do it, okay? This is you. This is your episode. This is your complaint, and you're going to listen to it. No, don't go to the door. Look, that's me locking it. That's me locking it, okay? The door is locked. You need to hear this. I didn't want this episode to go up. You aired this episode, okay? And this is one of the only episodes we've ever aired where I didn't listen back to it, because guess what? I'm not into that, okay? Even if you're a very attractive man. I know that's weird to say about your own kid, but look, it's honest. You're a very attractive man. And I say that not as your father, but as an observer with eyes. Okay? You're a very attractive man. Very attractive. This is pushing the line too far. I find this very disgusting, as do I, and inappropriate, as do I, because it is degrading to women, as do I. It also informs teenagers that skateboarding will fix everything after sex. What the fuck? Okay. Ronnie, what did you do after the coitus? What did you get up to afterwards? Because this person who wrote in said it also informs teenagers that skateboarding will fix everything after sex. What did you do? Did this not go well? Where did you go afterwards? You went to the skate park. You went to the skate park. You went to the skate park. Is that what you did? Okay? Why would you go to fix things? To fix things? My illegitimate son, Ronnie, is a bit of a skateboard hand. I've told him he'll grow out of it, but he says, no, I'm going to be like the guy from My Name is Earl. I'm going to be a star. So, for those that are new to the show, that's just some info you should probably know about. We're dealing with it every single day. This is appalling. I agree, as do I. This podcast must be banned ASAP. Disagree. It's offensive and being shown when young teenagers are up watching TV. Okay. Stop. Okay. I'm sorry. Can we get like a... Can everybody listen to this? Can I get everybody listening to this right now? Do not play this podcast while watching Taronga Zoo programs. You should not be indulging in multiple media formats simultaneously and distracting your children through the filth that you want to enjoy while they enjoy simple paramedic shows that show terrible, gruesome things, I imagine. Oh, hang on a second. What are we watching? Paramedic shows. Those are pretty grim as well. Hang on a second. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm losing steam here. I'm losing steam. But, don't do multiple things. You clearly aren't handling it, and you're freaking out, and you're compensating by ignoring your children's drug and arms possession and focusing more so on the podcast that you are listening to. And if you're listening multiple times, I assume enjoying? So I think that's on you. But, wow. Appalling. No, it's not appalling. Know what you're in for. Have shown a couple of recent podcasts that are all inappropriate and offensive like this one. I'd say generally going off the podcast that we described today, we had the plain sex lounge thing. We had the one where I bit the guy's nipple while we were wearing damp towels. That's probably a low point in my career. And what else do we have? We had the one from Ronnie's bedroom, which isn't as bad as the other ones, but hey, maybe... Oh, that's the one with the holy fuck. Yeah, okay. So I'm just looking through some of these things, trying to remind myself. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, the bar's been lowered a little bit. Very disappointing that these podcasts are even approved in the first place. Look, I'm not the webmaster. The office ladies are. They're in charge of, administration and putting things up, so you're going to have to talk to them. Absolute obvious. What? This is a whole sentence ending in an exclamation point. Absolute obvious. Absolute obvious. Absolute obvious. It's supposed to be absolutely obviously? Absolutely obvious? No, hang on. Absolute obviously? I don't know. It's absolute obvious. Highly suggestive of sexual intercourse. Well, not suggestive. It did. I assume it. Yeah, you're saying it happened. Ed, at an inappropriate time, you choose the time. Once again, you choose the fucking time. Obviously sexual content. Yeah, they're having sex. Not only that, highly suggestive of male dominance. Jesus, Ronnie. Using the female for sex before thinking of skateboarding. Was this premeditated skateboarding, Ronnie? Using her for sex before thinking of skateboarding. Oh, his plans. You were going to go skateboarding. Oh, together, the two of you. Oh, is that who this is? Is this your little date? Huh? What's her name? Bonnie. Oh, that's cute as Bonnie and Ronnie. So you went skating. The two of you went skating together. Oh, okay. Well, this sounds like it's a nice story. Come on. This person writing this sounds cruel. But I guess so the sex was bad? Really, Bonnie? Okay. Well, he's pretty attractive. You wouldn't expect that. I'm saying that as a guy with eyes, not as your father. Okay? Everybody's been really weird in here all of a sudden. Everybody's been really weird. Okay. Content has no connection to the podcast. I agree. Offensive and inappropriate. Forceful to the viewer. Forceful to the viewer? Oh, you used weird camera angles? Yeah, okay. I guess certain camera angles. This was completely inappropriate. I agree. They were spotty teenagers. I don't know what that... Maybe sporty teenagers. Could you skateboard? That makes sense. With no attempt to suggest there was any adult content. Well, there was a big suggestion. And it was them fucking. But yeah, I guess. The final picture was the male youth with similar-aged boys enjoying food. Ronnie! You filmed this, they went skateboarding, filmed the skateboarding, and then what? You went and got food? Celebration? You went for a celebration with the boys? For what? The coitus? You said it went poor. Oh, not for the sex. What was it for? What'd you get? For good skateboarding, you went and got food. With the boy? Was Bonnie there? Wait, Bonnie, hang on. Bonnie wasn't invited to this feast for good skateboarding because it was the boys. Okay, this, I don't know about this. I'm starting to agree with the person writing in because this sounds a bit crazy. This came on while my 11-year-old son was watching. Watching what? Why did it come on? You decide. It doesn't. Things don't just come on. You chose to play this. Really? So the woman is stupid and will have sex. Oh, that's a dig on you, Bonnie. We're stupid and will have sex with anyone who shows interest and falls for I love you. Anyone who shows interest and falls for I love you. Ronnie, are you serious about this girl? Oh, he's scooching. He's scooching over to her. He's putting his arm around her and, oh my God, falls for I love you. I've never been more I don't want to use the word honored because I don't want to give you the leeway of me saying honored, but I'll say I've never been more your father. I'm afraid of using even like a single adjective. I don't want to describe it. What do we got here? I love you, and the man is really only interested in... I should have finished this sentence. Hang on. The whole sentence is, so the woman is stupid and will have sex with anyone who shows interest and falls for I love you, and the man is really only interested in skateboarding. And yeah, okay, I can see this manifesting before me. Ronnie did put his arm around Bonnie, and now Bonnie has pushed him away. Yeah, okay, why did she come? Why did she come? You're gonna go skating later. Oh, fucking hell. You've got a problem. Haven't we moved on from betraying women as being dumb? Oh, sorry, but I didn't even know you're going to be in the room. Betraying women as being dumb and the subject of men's needs along with skateboarding. That is what this podcast implies. Bad taste in this day and age. Podcast unnecessarily promotes skateboarding. Obviously saying one-night stands are okay. Okay, so I feel like the writer was actually more concerned about the skateboarding than anything else. The last things they said were like podcast unnecessarily promotes skateboarding. I think they're just confused about why skateboarding was a part of the video. I think they were okay with the sex tape, honestly. Maybe our post-production team did a good enough job. Maybe. I don't know. I'm proud. I used the word. I didn't want to say proud. I'm not proud of you, Ronnie. Okay? You guys can actually leave, by the way. That was the last letter, and I feel like I might go a little bit insane. Yeah, I feel like I might go a little bit insane, because after reading these 5 letters, I'm starting to see a pattern that's emerged where I am not being seen as somebody who is worthy of praise, and instead ridiculed? For what? Putting out a bunch of smutty episodes that a few of them were out of my control. One was me and Misty Minas, a leaked video while recording. Another was, well, me kind of being pretty forward with a prison lawyer, bathhouse, and I guess I did release that one myself. There was the party plane one. I guess I released that as well, even though some of the comments I made were pretty bad. There's one in Ronnie's room that I didn't even think was that bad in comparison to the other ones. But I guess the last one, I guess that gave you the confidence to make your own episode, in which you released a sex tape that was followed by a victory lap of skateboarding. Well, apology. Wait, hang on. Let me get this clear. It was a sex act followed by an apology tour of skateboarding, followed by a victory lap of grub. You went out feasting with the boys to celebrate skateboarding after failing at sex. Ronnie. He has left. He's left. He's gone out the door. Okay, that's fair. Bonnie, Bonnie's left as well. Some of the audio engineers are packing up all this stuff. Okay, well, it looks like that was the episode. What did we learn today? We learned a lot about me. We learned a lot about myself. And I think mainly we learned a lot about my viewers. We learned a lot about the listeners, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy, why they listen. I think we learn a lot about why they listen. I feels like they enjoy a lot of certain things and they disenjoy some other things. Now, here's what we're going to do. Here's the big moment, okay? As we close up shop in the mailroom, I need to say this. Can we like? Can we favorite? And can we, how do I say this? Can we subscribe? Can we do that? How do you subscribe to a podcast? I don't know, but I say it every time. Okay? Like, favorite, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. Go onto iTunes. I'll tell you what to write. Here's what you should write. This podcast changed me. Before this podcast, I didn't know who I was. And after this podcast, I was assigned an identity through the mail. I will send out identity kits to everybody who gives a 5-star review. Please, if leaving a 5-star review, say where you want to be relocated to, and I will provide new relocation kits. It's a new thing I'm doing. Okay, we need the reviews, and you need a fresh start. Okay, so you could do that, and if you're using another app, if you're using like a different thing, also leave a review there. We need some word, we need some buzz. Can we just tell our dads about this? Can everybody right now just go home and say, "Hey, Dad, can you check this out?" And we can bump up those numbers, and we can use up those numbers, and with those numbers, I can finally tackle and take down my rivals, office ladies. Conan needs a friend. My dad wrote a porno, okay? They're all gonna go down at the hand of me and at the hand of you. You're a part of this experience, and you will be included in the court transcripts. Anyway, that's about the whole episode. Let's just part ways. I think we're done. We're all good. We did a whole thing. It's very long. Let's just head on out. So I'm just gonna sign out the same way I always do, with I didn't do it. And, I'll just get out of the mailroom here, and, oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Okay, hang on. All the mail's going everywhere. Okay, this is the one thing they said not to do. They said, do not open the door fully, because the wind will take the mail. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm so sorry, wind gods. I didn't do it. Yeah, so what I did was, just to explain the behind the scenes, is I got some advertising complaints from the Australian Ad Commission, and I did a find and replace on certain words like advertisement. I changed them to podcast, and then I changed certain names to Anthony B. Watts and different, like brands to know what you're in for, and kind of changed it all up. I did, for some reason, change one instance of KFC to chicken. So if you heard me say the word chicken, that's because I don't know why I kept that in, but I guess the episode was to sell chicken. Great stuff. There's some behind the scenes.
Hey, can I get a big tall boy?